Billy, talking about that $30-something million thing you're describing there, that's if the Jazz move on from Rubio, Favors, and Kyle Korver's contract. The Jazz have $34.5 million. Here's some underrated guys that are out there. We mentioned earlier in the segment about DeLon Wright, former Utes player. He's restricted free agent. He's a very good player entering his prime as far as being a two-way player. Bill, also out there is Patrick Beverley. Now, we say Beverley, if they sign Kawhi, Beverley might not be part of the equation as far as the economics of for the Clippers. What I like about Beverley, besides being an absolutely junkyard dog defense, he's an underrated three-point shooter. Career-wise, 37%. So he gets so much of shot-outs as far as defensively, but he makes enough open jump shots to be able to handle that. Add to that, do you like it all as far as Terry Rozier?
I don't mind Terry Rozier.
Very much. He's a restricted free agent. He played with Donovan in college, Louisville University, and that he's got game. He's a talented guy. So these are just some of the guards out there. Also, for two guards right now, a vastly underrated player is two guys that the Jazz could get. Again, we're talking off the bench now. So we're not talking as a starter. Visualize both guys. Justin Holiday from the Grizzlies and Rodney McGruder, who's vastly underrated. Again, don't tell me when a guy's good. Tell me before he's good. And that's when you can get bang for your buck as far as playing on it. The big names as far as two guards out there are J.J. Redick and Klay Thompson. So those are the two guards that are out there that everybody wants. All right, as far as wing guys, Bojan Bogdanovic from the Indiana Pacers. That guy, when he shoots. Now,
are they going to move on from him, do you think?
We're going to find out, okay. Bill. He's very good.
He's one of those borderline guys. Is he restricted or unrestricted?
Unrestricted.
Okay.
Again. So
he may move on from them.
Very much. Also, Chris Middleton. He's a player option at $13 million. Now, Bill, if you're the Bucks, what do you do with Chris Middleton? He opts out. Do you give him 22, 23, 24? Or do you go a different route and let him walk away because you want to sign Malcolm Broderick. You want to sign also Brook Lopez. So these are all things that guys could be out there that could fall through the cracks. Jimmy Butler's out there also for somebody. And again, if not the Jazz, if it's someone else. As I always say, it's a pecking order. When Butler goes to someplace else, the Jazz were targeting, they might fall to the Jazz.
Right.
So these are all part of the domino theory. But Kelly Oubre, who's vastly underrated.
Not a bad player.
That's exactly right, Bill. Again, he shoots well. He's a good defensive player. He's restricted right now. We'll see what the Suns, what they do with him. They can move on from him. They might like him, but we don't like. We have a different vibe for our team right now as we go on. So these are just some of the names that are out there. Now let's go stretch. Besides Tobias Harris, he's been the great debate for the last month or so with a lot of people in the NBA. What's he worth? You like him? Is he worth a max contract? We'll say at $27 million to start. What would you give him?
I'd probably give him between 27 and 30.
Okay, I'm going to respectfully move down from that. Hey, I love you. I love you at, again, it sounds weird saying, I love you at $18 million, but the extra $9 million, you need someone else to get another player for playoff basketball. If I would target, if I don't like I like Tobias Harris's game. I don't like his potential contract. Julius Randle is the guy that I'm staring right at as far as he makes $9 million a year. He's a player option. I like Julius Randle's talent.
All right, compare Julius Randle's game to Tobias Harris's game, and compare Julius Randle's game to Derek Favors' game. Because you're obviously moving along from if you're pursuing Julius Randle and or Tobias Harris, you're moving on from Derek Favors. I think the Jazz probably will. So compare what are the pros and the cons on Tobias versus the pros and the cons on Julius. You've already said contract. You don't want to pay Tobias Harris $27 million. Julius Randle wouldn't cost you that much. He'd probably be in the neighborhood of $15 to $18 million.
If that, I'm going more like 12 to 15.
Okay.
See, again, a lot of times in narrative, people throw money out there, but the reality is that the Knicks have the most money in the NBA. The Knicks. If they've announced some guys, Knicks have roughly $70+ million for free agency, and the Clippers have the second most at $50 million. See, that's what I'm saying about Kawhi. That's what I'm going at, where they had the money to get him, and another potentially also max player.